So when we left off in our discussion on this, you were talking about how at that point they had contacted the sheriff, and I'm always really interested in how these local we know that the national situations don't take a lot of these things very seriously, but you would think that the local constituents would, or the local sheriff would, due to his constituents. How did they deal with this?
Well, it was, like I said, it was interesting the way they got involved, and when they had gone to when the sheriff's department responded to that call about the car that had been possibly mauled by an animal, they couldn't make much sense of it, and it truly did look like some animals had been fighting on it, or something had scratched it up, and the people that had reported it were sincere. And during the process, Sheriff Liston Truesdale, who was the sheriff of Lee County at the time, was there, and as he was leaving, somebody said, "Well, maybe it was the lizardman." And he said, "What, lizardman? What do you mean?" This local proceeded to tell him that people had been reporting for some time, or seeing something lurking in the swamps, that they had given it this name, lizardman. And of course he thought, "Oh, okay, whatever," and went on his business. But then when Christopher Davis came in there 2 weeks later with his father and told the story about this thing attacking him, Truesdale felt quite sure that the kid was telling the truth. Something happened to him, something truly bizarre, and he didn't necessarily believe that it was a, quote unquote lizard man, but he felt that it had enough merit that he should try to, elicit more reports from other locals who may have seen this thing. So he kind of put the word out, if anybody's seen this or had any experiences, come forward, and several people did. And again, he felt these people were truthful, and there was something to it. And then once it became media, heavily covered by the media, which included local papers and a wider range of South Carolina papers, and it got in reporters like Dan Rather were coming there. This caused all kinds of problems, because you had all these people running through the woods down there trying to hunt this, and hundreds of people at the skateboard bridge. So ultimately he kept a file on it and took it seriously, in that he was afraid somebody would be hurt, even if it was just a hoax. And I visited with him at length. I looked through all the police files, and he had taken some of these witnesses. A whole family had seen it once while driving, and he separated them, had them all write down what they had seen. So I was able to read the affidavits from the witnesses, not interviewing them, so many years later, but literally days after hearing their recollections. So, that was interesting, and I think Sheriff Truesdale truly wanted to solve the mystery, and he never really did, but so it was kind of unique that there was so much involvement with the law officials.